G'day everybody, this is the Hardballgets AFL show. My name's Nick Rinn, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Morning, Nicholas. Geez, it's a big day for our boy. He's busy at the moment on his text thread.
Yes.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll
One
see
of many.
that. Well, because he's had a big weekend.
I did hear this.
A long weekend.
Sorry, I thought we were doing the actual proper intro. I'm tuning in.
This is it. So I got on good authority, good mail, Nicholas, that there was a gathering of the who's who of WA football, like insiders. I'm not talking about journos, no media. He always says that, hangers on. This was just big dogs only. Now,
This put Trevor Nisbet's farewell to shame.
Nothing, not even close. Not even close. Now,
I don't know what you're talking about. Is it the Taylor Swift party I went to on Sunday night?
Now, at this gathering, I believe, of course, Nick Nat was there.
Yep.
Big dog. Luke Shuey and Danny Shuey, of course, the power couple in WA. Harley Reid was at this party.
Yep.
And our man, Xavier, spent a lot of the night just cozying up to Big Harley.
Factually incorrect.
Getting close.
What about old mate's got a bit of a horn talking about Harley already, just with great envy of not being there.
Getting nice and tight in
He was
the
out in the car park.
conversation.
So you know how I explained to Rhino, and he caught him off guard a fraction, that when these events pop up,
So hold on, Nick, this is him deflecting.
there are those who are those who are invited,
Oh, yeah.
the actual invites,
And then there's the
media invites.
Okay.
So these ones you're not invited
All
to.
right, so now you were there. You and Harley, confirm or deny, you and Harley were having a good chat.
Deny. I will tell you. I will tell you one funny thing though. Look, don't be wrong. I was pretty pissed. Just to clear that up. And towards the back of the evening, it was a family thing, kids and whatnot.
Okay, kids
I'll
everywhere.
give you two quick things.
Okay.
The kids of like Tom Barras, of Jeremy McGovern, Luke Shuey, Nick Nat. I've never seen them gravitate towards a player in my life.
Right.
But when Harley Reid came in, those kids just swarmed to Harley Reid. Like swarmed to him. Wow. So much so, like, Govern them were like, Hardy, piss off. Like, go away. Like, and Luke was like, bloody Ollie, go away. Let him just chill out for a minute. But he gave them all of them got treated special by him.
Yeah, really?
All
Wow.
of them.
Well done.
Second one.
The Pied Piper.
So what, Ted turned code on GWS?
No, Ted had gone. I stayed by myself for a little bit. And then the second part is, as the evening was winding down, dinners were starting to get ordered and whatnot, and I was sort of just there by myself. Emma left and the kids. And Danny Shuey came over, who's a caring person, Dan and I, and would be one of my closest girlfriends. Like, we got on really well. And so I made the assumption that Dan was just going to get a few dinners for everyone, and a bit of food was coming out, and she came and grabbed Harley's arm. Harley, your dinner's ready. Come and sit down. And I was like, where the fuck's my steak?
You were the last to eat.
I didn't get anything. No, she didn't order me on. She ordered one steak and one steak only for Harley to sit and eat his own dinner.
I think Eagles fans would be sitting back going, good. Keep the boy fed. Keep him happy.
But just grab a few steaks. Harley, your dinner's ready. Sit down. I couldn't believe it. Anyway.
Special treatment in that house.
So just how far was your nose up Harley's ass? Can we just confirm?
No. Yeah,
because you've got to be very conscious in all seriousness. But also, like, Tommy Barras was there. Haven't seen him for ages. Gov, Nick Nat. So they're people I haven't seen for ages. Adam Selwood. So it's good to have a beer with everyone.
Speaking about being in the tent.
Yeah, mate, this is
he never goes too far from the tent, does he?
Fair's fair. It was Boots' birthday. What do you want me to do?
Well, sounds like a social gathering of West Coast
I'm a little bit...
Sounds like power, like dynamics
going on. Do you know what it
sounds
like? Rhino does a radio show with Danny.
What, didn't get
Still
invited?
didn't get invited.
Wow.
I wouldn't have gone. I would have ruined everyone's night.
Nah, you would have gone.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you would have gone. Jesus,
What, you got a steak?
Yeah, you wouldn't have got the steak,
No, you wouldn't have got a steak.
I would have awkwardly ordered my own one.
Yeah,
thinking that everyone was doing it. It's just me and Harley eating a steak.
And then you've ordered one for Harley, and then he's got two steaks.
Yeah, then I just pretend I didn't. I give it to Zay.
No, that was actually for sorry about this.
Actually, now we are. Something sparked my memory. Nick, and I sent you something.
Oh, yes. That'll go on socials today.
Put it on socials, please. So we're calling the footy on Saturday.
Yes.
St Kilda, they're poor. And West Coast, they're poor.
What did I do?
As I was leaving... Ember's Norm Smith medalist dressed up as Elvis.
Yep.
So it goes callers in the front row, Me and Ember's in the middle. The middle row, Tex at the back.
Yeah.
So to get out, there's only one exit. You don't want to bushfire at that end because you're not getting out otherwise. There's one exit only. And as we're about to leave, old Rhino's ass is blocking our exit point, leaning over, talking to someone. And I'm like, what are you doing, mate? It's time to go. It's Saturday. Move out of the way.
In the booth.
I turn around and he's signing autographs for some lady, a photo.
Some lady.
It's who was it?
That's Jean Perkins. So she runs the media for Optus Stadium.
Right, okay,
Good luck getting in next time.
Yeah, no,
Optus Stadium.
I didn't.
We love Jean.
I didn't. Absolutely, we do. I didn't hang around. I didn't want to ask any questions.
Mate.
But Rhino is signing a photo of himself, a personal photo of himself,
A headshot.
and wrote a message.
Keep trucking.
Keep reporting, kid.
Something along that. No, he's a
Get
grown man.
Get the camera angles right, kid.
Well, what do you want me
Ryan
to do?
Daniels.
What do you want me
One
to do? Say no.
Keep shooting for those Kit
Sorry,
Kats.
I don't sign anything unless it's upper deck.
I would whisper. I'd whisper very quietly. Maybe just leave it there and I'll take it and sign it. Please don't show Bullfed
do
1
it
and
right
Bullfed
now.
2. Instead,
Do you know what's happened there?
you should have said it was an absolute shambles.
No, do you know what's happened there?
What? Who's
And
asked for this?
No, he talks a lot about, media not invited, blah, 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 blah. What's happened here is two former players who both think a bit of themselves have seen
No,
me.
Embers and I don't. Embers and I don't.
Have seen me signing something and thought, that's normally what we
That's
get
our
asked.
job.
And then
Yeah.
they've realised in that moment that their time is over and my time is now. That's what's happened.
Save's got he's got printouts. He's got Norm Smith medal voting printouts. He signs those.
I'm not sure. Embers' time's over. He sang Elvis in the middle of Optus on Saturday.
That's when it ended.
That was
that
the
is when
end.
it ended right there.
Oh,
Come on, let's get
Jesus.
into it.
Okay, we just quickly, remember the order is specific this week. It's submitted by our good friend Kev's Kickers from Twitter, Essendon's greatest follower.
Oh, yes. So we have
and
to
you
guess the order at the end.
Well, no.
I have to guess the order.
Yeah, it's mainly aimed at you, I think,
Okay.
because we all know that you
love
hate the
Kev.
Bombers.
All right.
All right, well, let's kick it off with Port Adelaide.
Ryan, I reckon that's you because I wanted Port.
it is me, Port Adelaide. Okay, what have I got? Okay, so they lost. Hey, the two things that I've been barking on all year about, Essendon and Port Adelaide, both those teams lost. We'll get to Essendon later. So Port Adelaide, of their 8 wins, 3 of them have been against teams in the top 8.
Yeah.
One of them
10,
was
10.
Essendon, when Essendon were
Smashed it.
a
They
rabble,
slaughtered Essendon.
a rabble
Yeah.
at Gather Round.
Gather Round, yeah.
You could say that was the time when Essendon season turned around. Freo, they beat in Adelaide by 3 points in a game that really could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And Geelong at the start
Close
or
at
the
the-
middle of Geelong's busted ass run.
Well, they kicked the first 7 goals or something. Remember, it was like
Yeah.
40-0.
So none of that's very impressive. Can we confirm that? None of that is super impressive.
Geelong in Geelong's, I tip my hat to.
Yeah.
it.
That's the one.
Regardless of
but
circumstance.
that was in the midst of a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, but you still
I
can't.
think- yeah.
That's the one. That's
No,
the one.
but I think it was more at the front end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they almost
Give them that
They went.
one.
Geelong lost to Melbourne in a close one with that Bailey Fritsch dribble kick, and
Yeah.
then they got pumped by
I'll let them
Geelong,
have.
which
I'll
then
let
was
them
close
have
in the
the
end.
Geelong one. Okay. Now, Charlie Dixon. Where are we
One
at
touch,
with Charlie?
2 touches?
13 goals in his 10 games this year, 0 in his last 3.
I would say we're at
1
the
in his last 4.
I'd say we're at the same place we've been with Charlie Dixon the last 3 years.
But at this point, did they make a mistake bringing him back for
Well,
this year?
I would say Marshall, and then I would say Georgiades. I reckon that's probably the saviour was Georgiades coming back from a knee.
Yeah.
You're not really sure.
Contributing
He could
probably.
easily go down with something else prior to returning.
So Dixon was almost Georgiades' insurance.
I would say that should have been the swapperoo.
Yeah. So I
And then if they play a second ruckman, then old Dopes is resting down there as well.
see. I like Charlie Dixon.
well, that Charlie
I've
Dixon
always-
as a second ruck is not a bad option.
I don't think he moved though.
Yeah.
He did no
Yeah.
pre-season again.
He's-
He started the season pretty well, didn't he? He had a
Yeah,
big
he
game or
wasn't-
two
yeah.
early.
There's
And-
no player in the AFL I watch more and think that I just want Charlie Dixon to sit down. I just want him to sit down on a big
Yeah.
Barker lounger,
Yeah.
grab a beer,
Have
and
a
just
minute.
retire,
Chill.
Charlie.
Just chill.
Like I feel like my knees hurt when I watch his knees.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I just feel like
He's sore.
that's the piece they got to move on from. And they're no good without Rosie. They're just no good.
they're
Butters
bottom
needs to stop. Butters is getting in the handball watch market.
Oh.
Really?
He's handballing way more than kicking at the
Okay.
moment. I'm just going to put that on the agenda.
Okay,
Didn't he know they've pivoted?
who's the next team?
Next up is Richmond.
I don't have them.
I have Richmond. Well, let's talk about Dusty. no one. Why would Richmond even put down illness to start with?
He's not ill.
Just say rested.
Yeah.
Or 300 next weekend. Yeah. That's what we're doing it for.
Celebrations.
So Dusty, 300 games. Is this his last season at Richmond? I think I asked this like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, because he's still contributing.
Yeah, I
and playing
get that.
well,
But do you reckon it's just going to be one of them things for Dusty? Will he speak to the media? How do you think this week's going to go for Dusty leading into his 300th?
He's going to go as same as round 2 did.
Okay,
he will
do a canned interview with Richmond
You reckon?
Football Club media department.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure he's going to do that.
Nah, he'll do that. Like,
Are you sure?
yeah, he'll do that because
What's your level of confidence? Give it a percentage.
I think 8.5.
Yeah,
'cause
you
I-
reckon?
No, not
Out of
percentage.
10?
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
no,
8.5%.
because someone that he trusts, where it be Brendan Gale or someone on the board, Peggy
Might be done by Cochin or something, maybe.
or Jack Revolt or Koch.
Yeah.
I reckon that will be the thing, right? Mate, we
Because
don't-
Geelong are good at doing that, like Joel doing Tom
Yeah.
doing Joel, Mitch don't like.
Yeah.
Maybe if it is Koch.
and that'll be the sell. So 7 sell will be we can get Cochin to do it. Can you do it with us? Foxes will be, hey, we'll get Jack to do it.
Yeah.
Can you do it with us? The Richmond media department will get Richo to do it, and you just sit with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So that it'll probably end up in one of those spaces. He's not doing a presser. He's not doing a bunch of radio shows.
Nah.
He's not doing anything like that.
Imagine
I
if-
remember the buddy one. Was it Jordan Lewis? Did the buddy sit down?
On the-
For
oh,
Fox?
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be that sort of situation.
So you're telling me I'm checking my emails for a waste of time? Dusty Martin availabilities. Please
Yeah.
book your times in.
Triple M breakfast. That's not going to happen. No, and fair enough. Like, you know what? Like, I'm past the point
He's
of
who he
wanting to
is.
hear from players and,
No.
and coaches too
Oh,
often.
I'm not with Dusty.
No,
I'm not.
you
with
want to
Dusty.
hear from him.
Well, we don't hear from him.
But you're not going to hear anything good.
No, but I'd love for him to say, hear what his greatest moment was.
Yeah.
How was he after his father's passed? Just some bits and pieces.
I'd imagine if he comes out and he goes on some real like heavy right wing rant and it's just
Yeah.
like, ooh,
The three-
geez.
Just make America great again,
Yeah,
Cat.
like hey, ooh.
It's Dusty, Buddy, and Plugger. They're the three that just
Never talk.
Never talk.
media shy superstars, like super superstars.
And I love the what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You can find me. You see what I get paid last
Who's
year?
next, Nicholas?
Next up is Fremantle, which is me. The unfortunate thing was, so I was flicking through most of those sort of national footy programs last night, and they pumped Melbourne so hard that Melbourne became the story, and people barely mentioned Fremantle in the wash up. So that was probably their forward line. I mean, everything clicked for them, obviously.
No. That was if you had a list of all the stuff
That needed to go right.
that people like Xavier for months and years have
Not
been
working.
saying, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. That's why Freo are no good. That game
They all
ticked
worked.
all of the boxes.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying one game's not enough. They need to do it for a bigger period. But the Jackson Darcy thing worked. I think they beat Gawn. I think
Yes.
they did. Jackson had an impact up forward. Darcy was very good in the ruck. And I heard Davey King say the split was like 42 like ruck attendances to 31 for Darcy.
There's
had
a lot more even.
Not a lot. Not a big
Yeah.
gap there. The small forwards, they don't have any. Well, Switkowski hit the scoreboard. Walters was
those
better.
two, the Switkowski and Frederick, really important when they're up and going. They can sort of change things
Amos
for 'em.
and Tracy, are they ready? Well, they both looked bloody ready.
Were you surprised with how easily May got moved around?
Yeah, I was.
May needs lever
I was shocked by it. Like
more than they're a combination, and I've always I reckon that's with a lot of good key defenders. They're only as good as the key defenders they're playing with.
Yeah,
I think it was something like 70 inside 50s to 35. So it was a busy day for May and those guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of times I'm like, you've just phoned that in.
that Tracy
Like,
mark where Tracy sort of got up on him.
but I think
I
Amis got
haven't
into it
seen
once too.
May do that much.
it's a funny point you said the show became about Melbourne because in my little column, I ended up writing like that demolition job has fast-tracked Melbourne into
Can we
a
save
full
Melbourne
rebuild.
for Melbourne?
No, but then I had to go back and go, hang on. You need to give credit where credit's due.
Can you give
on.
Fremantle some flowers for once?
I did in today's column,
Well,
actually.
this isn't a column. This is your 10 seconds
I
left
said-
on this segment.
We're a national program,
I
mate.
said,
How are you gonna pity them here? How are you gonna poo-poo the Fremantle performance? What do you got?
Oh, gee whiz, it was a nice amount of marks that you took. I'd like to see that with a bit of pressure. No, I did say exactly what you said. Tick to Jackson, tick to Darcy.
Yeah.
Jai back with 4 goals, four straight, I think it was.
Move the ball.
Jordan
winner.
Clark's All-Australian, Lockett's
Fife was good.
half-back.
I like
Why do they not tag Jordan Clark?
That's a very
the
good
one
question.
team that's done it, which team was it?
Sydney.
Where do they sit on the ladder?
pretty
First.
comfortably first.
Oh, my God.
I like Justin Longmuir getting a bit chirpy at the end of it too.
I
on
love.
the old,
Can we
the
extend?
ruck level.
Can we extend on this? I love the new version of Justin Longmuir where he's just kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have you not noticed the last?
Well, did you watch any
I
of the
reckon
games?
the start of this year, it started with all the contract stuff and the noise about him. And once that contract was signed, I reckon he's just come out. And anytime there's a narrative that he disagrees with, whether it be people saying they're slow or people saying this or whatever, he just comes out and calls them on it and goes, well, here's the stats that say that's not right.
Yeah.
And here's why this works. And like the Darcy Jackson comment is like, people just want to be the first to say it. They haven't had the time. They need time. And I love that in a coach where because he's been criticised for being too passive. I love the chip on the shoulder, Justin Longmuir.
I was really, it took me aback that after he was talking about that Jackson Darcy stuff when he just said, so fuck you, Zave.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, where'd that come from?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I did actually say on it.
I was actually going to get Michelle to play the audio of that grab.
What did he say?
He didn't say you specifically, but he basically said there are people who want to be the first to say this won't work or that won't work.
And then he named
you're
him
following the
and
trends.
down the camera.
You're following the basic trends of football.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's it. It's just the basic trend of what doesn't work.
Yeah,
Right.
but sometimes you got to think outside
Sometimes
the box.
the trend's not your friend.
You know?
Yeah, but most of the time it is your friend.
But yeah,
Have a look at the top 4 teams every year. They're in the
He's
top.
doing it again.
He's back in. He's double
I'm
down.
just saying.
Let's send the audio on.
I did say on a little news slot I do. You can't. This is what I did say. You can't judge. The fullness of time is the end of the season before you even create a proper opinion on it.
All right.
But I'm happy to keep chipping away at it.
Next up is Hawthorne, which is me again.
Kind of smartasses. Where are you?
Well, Dylan
Come
Moore's
on.
back to his
Dylan
elite
Moore.
status. What the hell?
Deal the thrill. What did he
Been
kick,
a-
5 or 4?
Yeah,
5.
5 and
27.
27
and 5.
I think we've
crazy.
always been big supporters of Dylan Moore.
We have.
Did we ever
he
get off the-
started slow this year.
Yeah.
We had glandular fever all off season.
that what it was?
And a very difficult role to play when the team's not going well.
Yeah, and now they're
So
going well.
Sam Mitchell explained it. Now Selby was telling me yesterday that Dylan Moore's only bit of advice from Sam Mitchell is I want you far enough up the ground to get 20 disposals, but I also want you close enough to goals to kick 3. So if you think
27,
do you know what I
then
mean?
5.
So if you're chasing kicks in the back pocket, you get 20, but you're
no
far,
good to us.
You're too far away to get the goal. So you need to find that zone that you're not gone cold in the forward line, but you're active enough up the ground to find the ball. But then when you need to come back and play forward and kick goals and get a bit hungry, we need you doing that
That's
too.
really well articulated. Far enough away that you can get 20, but close enough you can kick 3.
Kick 3. And that's the sort of areas that he plays in.
So they're 5 and 7. The next 3.
They should have won. They should have won
they
6
should've
of the
won-
last 7.
So the next 3 are GWS. There's a buy in here somewhere which I didn't write down, but GWS, which is going to be a tough game, but who knows? GWS haven't been flying the past month. Then they run into Richmond and West Coast. So Hawthorne could sort of come into it.
Can they make the 8?
Oh, it's real congested. I was looking at it thinking, do I go there? But it's
But the only thing is it's so
tight.
congested that they're
Anyone
not
can
breaking.
sneak
They're not
in.
breaking away. So
No.
as long as they keep winning,
They're in the mix.
They'll win 2 out of 3 of those.
Then they go
and the
Geelong,
third one
Fremantle.
will be as close as you'll get.
Yeah.
I reckon they can run the Giants.
After that, they run into Geelong, Fremantle, Collingwood, which, well, who knows?
I don't think
Who knows? 'Cause at the moment, anywhere from 2
They're
to
not worried-
Hawthorne could finish
I
anywhere.
don't think they're worried about Geelong at the moment, and I don't think they're worried about Fremantle in Tassie. In terms of not worry,
There we go.
Oh, is that in Tassie?
Yeah, it's
Look
in
at him, he
Tassie.
knows how far he's seen the
Post-match
fixture.
pressure after Freo beats Hawthorne, JL. Well, people want to write us off down here. They say the Hawks
People
aren't
wanna
worried
stop
about
Just
it.
saying, it's a
That's it,
50-50.
in Tassie.
Would you say
mate.
it's not a 50-50 in Tassie?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
So-
game
Is
Hawthorne...
today going to be the day I punch you?
Every game Hawthorne play in Tassie.
It's a 50-50
Is a
at a
better
minimum.
chance.
Yeah.
And Fremantle in Tassie have gone 50-50 before, but that was very controversial circumstances.
They have absolutely cranked the heat up in here today.
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
and
it
I-
is.
and
It's
I'm
It's
still-
1,000 degrees in this room.
and I'm still battling with an eye leakage too.
But they've definitely sort of graduated to that next tier now. Or there's like the shit teams, and then they're
They're
the,
out of
like,
that, absolutely.
they're challenging.
And there's still a few
challenging
players to
sort of
come back in.
Have we sirened? Yeah.
We're
We're not extending. Michelle, you've lost the plot. I was like, it feels like we've been talking about Hawthorne
Shell's
for
a
an
Hawthorne
hour.
fan. Next up, we got Carlton.
Hey, I'm Carlton, so I just
Okay.
did a little bit of a dive on Patrick Cripps. So he's making a charge. Just his last quarter on the weekend was outstanding.
unbelievable.
And you know when he won the Brownlow, everyone was like, "Oh, Paddy Cripps has had a good season," and then he played another good game, and then before you know it, he went
Stacking them
from
on.
was he 50-1 to win the Brownlow at the start of the year, then drip fed all the way down. Now at the moment he's sitting third favourite for the Brownlow.
He
Paddy
could
Cripps.
absolutely win it.
Well, I've done a dive on the season that he won it. So Patrick, and I don't know, I find little formulas around Brownlows that seem to work for me. Lockyer last year, Ollie Wines the year before, or 2 years before. So last year, Cripper had 7 games of 10-plus clearances.
Last year or the year he won it?
So the year he won it.
Yep.
So the year he won it. So there was games in there, and usually I was looking at Lockie Neal, 30 and 10, they won those.
The clearances.
And I thought maybe that he needed to win those games in the high clearances, but there was most of the games at the back end that Carlton didn't actually win.
He was getting 3s?
And he was getting 3s.
The Collingwood game.
And the Adelaide one. There was 2 back-to-backers that he went 3 and 3 and losses with 10 clearances. So the year he won it, 7 games, he had over 10 or more clearances.
Yep.
This year, though, only 2.
Okay.
So he as much as I'm thinking, the Paddy Cripps wave, he does need, for mine personally, he needs to get his nose in the trough, and those clearances need to go through the roof to finish because...
I do like the clearance thing because someone pointed out the Lockie Neal stats. Might have been you last year. After the Brownlow, it was like, well, this is why, because he's right there.
30 and 10 was the...
The umpires are looking at that tight, congested stuff.
Who's done that apart from Heaney?
Well, Nick Dacos is killing it.
The clearances. I'd love to see the list of the clearances.
Well, Dacos would be number 1, I reckon, now. He had number 16 on Friday night.
You guys go about your business.
It'd be Dacos and Sarong, wouldn't it?
Dacos.
They both had sort of the 16 games.
Yeah. So I think Sarong would be 2, and I reckon, Paddy Cripps to win the Brownlow, in my opinion, needs to be 1 in that category.
Push up into that area.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a little dive for you.
Like it. Western Bulldogs.
I've got the Western Bulldogs. So, Marcus Bontempelli on the weekend. Did you guys watch that game?
I was there.
Oh, you went?
Yeah. I actually I watched most games of footy and I went to 2 of them.
Right. So,
time out. Number 1 in clearances, Caleb Sarong.
Yeah.
Your man. Then Matt Rao. Now, this is total, by the way, so we'll go on average. Hold on. Number 1 is Libba, but he hasn't played enough games. Caleb Sarong is the highest averaging clearances. Then Yo, then Rao, then Dacos, Pitnet, Jason Horne-Francis, Bontempelli, Paddy Cripps in the top 10.
What's
Kieran Briggs, Matt Crouch, Isaac Heaney's 12th.
Should we jump on Pitnet?
So Caleb Sarong is the one that jumps out there, and Matty Rao.
So is that updated from the weekend? Because I know I was on the stats the other day.
That's average.
No, they bloody hadn't updated the contested marks on Waterman. I was like, geez, I can't get my numbers to really tell me the story I want.
Yes.
And then they updated.
What team are we doing? Bulldogs?
Bulldogs. So Marcus Bontempelli live.
Unreal.
What is it like watching? Because there was times where I think they were down by 20-odd and Bont just rolled in on his left to kick one from the boundary.
Yeah, that was the...
And he just sat there.
When he was looking for someone to lead to him and know what he did. So
everyone just ran away. It was like kicking from 50 boundary line.
Yeah.
What was it like sitting there? But also the Sam Darcy performance.
Yep.
Sitting there.
I was amongst the Collingwood faithful.
Well, right.
So they weren't pleased with him.
Right, yeah, of course. But right now you got Harley Reid, who's the midfield in that young crop.
Yeah.
But Sam Darcy on the weekend. That was a staggering performance. Yeah. And Luke Darcy in the commentary box with that sealer from the boundary line. Just did not flinch. I was like, just at least give it a little one under the table.
He's so big. You know, people that big shouldn't be able to move like he does. I'm thinking like people that big as Sandy, who was good, but like a lumbering sort of fella. He's just so smooth. And people can't spoil him because he sticks it up and sticks
So there was one stage they kicked it straight to Darcy in a one-on-one, and it was on like Quainer or something like that. And I wouldn't have thought to do that with a young kid. He took the contested mark, but it was near on uncontested. Yeah. Like Quainer tried his guts out.
He wasn't there.
But he just stood there, contested mark, tick, move on. But that was the first sign. I know Darcy was second favourite for the NAB Rising Star. That was the first sign on the weekend. I was like, all right, see you, Lob.
Yeah.
I know Norton's been unbelievable, but you're out of the way in a year or so.
It's Hugo Hagen and Darcy.
But Norton, who was arguably the most effective forward in the competition the last 6-7 weeks,
I think the three of them will work together.
You reckon still stick with 3?
I like the 3 of them because they're all quite different.
And Lob played a decent role on the Friday.
Yeah, Lob was decent.
Yeah.
But decent back to the 2s.
Yes, decent back to the 2. Norton can play that more decent, you know. But yeah, that was very, very good. Marvel Stadium, not great.
Nah.
Next, not a great venue. Next is Collingwood. That's me. So the main narrative around them these past few weeks has been all the injuries and the inexperience in the side. So I went on their injury list, and I think this one was from last week, so I've crossed a couple off. But can you tell me how many of these would be in their best 22? So Josh Carmichael.
No.
Mason Cox?
Borderline.
Yes, technically.
DeGoey, yes. Yeah. Elliott, yes.
Yes.
Josh Eyre?
No.
Will Hoskin-Elliott?
Yes.
Yes.
Reef McInnes?
He's been playing, but
25.
Dan McStay?
Yes.
Yes.
Myercheck?
Yes.
Yes. Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Joe Richards, and
Well,
Oscar Steen.
he's right around
Probably
the mark.
Joe Richards, yes, I reckon. Yeah.
These are sort of borderline guys. They're
Yeah.
not like lock.
Well, yeah.
So 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Western Bulldogs. This is their injury list. Jason Johannesson, Tom Liberatore,
2,
Aaron Norton,
3,
Ed Richards,
4,
Bailey Smith,
5,
Cody Waitman.
6.
So the same amount of players
Yeah.
out of your best 22.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't quite cop the. I think everybody's injured at this, particularly this year, which is weird.
It does feel like there's only 1 or 2 teams with short injury lists.
Yeah.
And then the rest seem to have heavy numbers and stars.
And I think it's more of a. It's not the injuries, but their list depth isn't there.
so are
and
you
they got
saying
lucky
that
last year.
Collingwood's getting a free ride here because of the
They're just
injuries?
getting more of a
From the
ride.
from the
Yeah,
media.
it seems
I
like
would say-
everything's brave, but everybody's got the same amount of injuries.
But the Bulldogs have had all those players in at some time and they haven't won all the time, whereas Collingwood, when they're in, they win.
yes,
I agree.
But
So-
it's more about like you got to have a list to win the flag.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like, you gotta
but they're deep diving now. Like they're in a lot of trouble, Collingwood.
yeah,
You sit there going, if Nick Dacos doesn't have 40 and 16 clearances,
then they're not going to win.
you know,
They're
Which
not,
you got-
they're not in the best 3 or 4 teams this season.
No.
I just don't think they are.
I reckon if they get full strength,
But are they going
Their
to?
best
No, that's
22
the-
is.
if they
Yeah.
get, but yeah, so
But it's
from-
also you need 6 weeks of full strength. You can't be like, we'll get them in
I
round
reckon-
23.
Well, I don't know. The Western Bulldogs, when they won the flag, they only had 4
those
weeks,
things are-
and they're all finals.
But they're anomalies. Like,
Yeah.
you can't, that's going to happen again.
I think the way the Pies play, if they can get them back, I would be.
That'd be a
very-
shout.
I need
have you
at
seen
least a minimum
Have you
of a
seen the
month.
top 4 at the moment?
Yeah, no, it's a rabble.
Mate, it's a rabble.
Jeez.
That's it. I think there's one good team.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Brisbane.
Hey, me, finally. Okay, now I've forgotten the order here, so I'm going to need an update.
Yeah, I'll
later,
run you
okay?
through it at the end.
Yeah, okay. Brisbane, where am I in Brisbane? Okay, they're $3.50 to make finals. They're the 12th most likely to make finals according to the betting websites. They're 13th on the
touch.
ladder. They have
We love
4.5 wins out of 12 games. 4.5 wins so far with 12 games to go. So you'd say they'd need to probably win 9 to guarantee a
Yeah.
final spot.
Jesus.
Maybe 8.
I was
but
gonna say, throw a draw in there. It seems to be the thing they're having
Yeah.
a fair
So
bit this year.
this is their run home, and I'll tell you the 6 games I've given them. I'll
Right.
give them 6. St Kilda at the Gabba,
Yep.
Yeah.
Melbourne at the Gabba,
Yeah.
Yep.
Adelaide at the Gabba,
Full. Yeah.
West
Where's
Coast
Isaac
here,
back?
Yeah.
St Kilda at Marvel,
Yeah.
and Essendon at the Gabba. That's in the last.
How
round
have
of the
you
season.
towed the team that's sitting second on the ladder into
Yeah.
a lock win
Losing
to the
to
team that's
Brisbane.
coming 12th?
Because it's a fake second.
Here we go.
Kev,
Kickers.
we'll get to Essendon in a minute. So they're the 6 I'll give them, right? And I was pretty generous because I'm not sure about the St Kilda one and the Essendon one. Then they've got the Bulldogs at Marvel. That's this week. So tell me if you think there's any
No, they're not
wins in
gonna win
here.
that.
Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval.
Well, who knows? Probably.
So
not.
who have they got this week?
Bulldogs away.
50-50.
Okay, yeah. So Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Sydney at the Gabba. Gold Coast on the Gold Coast.
Oh.
GWS at the Gabba.
So I would lock the Gold Coast game more than I would like Gold Coast a lot. Mate, what they did to
it's
them,
not a lock.
mate, what they did to them 3 weeks ago,
they'll learn from that.
with 5 people missing.
Gold Coast is on that ground. They're different, I reckon.
Okay.
There's an aura there.
Oh, I'd say there's more 50-50 other than Sydney.
GWS at the Gabba.
Yeah, well, I don't know what GWS are doing.
So you've given
Yeah,
them a
the
50-50
GWS
there.
are pretty banged up,
You've
really
given
banged
them a
up.
50-50 there and a 50-50 there. Collingwood at the G.
No.
Okay, so we've got them to 6, assuming they win all those 6. And those 50-50s, Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Giants, they have to win all 3 of those to get to 9.
Yeah.
And assuming they don't accidentally pick up the Port or the Sydney or the Collingwood game. They're not making it.
No.
You can put a line through them
Yeah,
right
they
now.
Mate, that's why the
They would
bookies
have
have
to
got them
catch.
12th.
Yeah, but they would have to catch fire.
Yeah, no, and they don't have fire players.
Well,
No.
they have to. I mean, they're capable on talent, but it's just the math says it's not going to happen.
We're binning them.
Yeah.
And then
we've
do they
been-
just unravel it all?
Do they clean the clean
well, I don't know.
house?
They get Levi Ashcroft
Empty
in
the
as
cupboard.
well. Like, there's enough kids there.
suppose
Yeah,
that-
so
Ashcroft,
do you start
Ashcroft.
going, all right, well, let's get the next
I think they're
through.
kind of rebuild on the run.
Yeah, they might be one
Least.
more decent
I think you're
swing
right.
at it.
I think they're going to try to do the Geelong thing, the
Yeah, well,
Sydney thing.
They got got
Yeah.
enough academy kids that they can do that. I think there's like 5. There's a lot of Queensland kids coming through the next couple of years that are very good.
Shoot.
Melbourne.
I've got Melbourne Football Club, and I've made a late change with Rhino on this one.
He demanded it.
No, well, I stumbled over a tweet this morning,
Oh, right.
and I'm going to...
So hold on, you didn't do the work yourself.
No, and I'm going to credit Cameron Burt on Twitter. It just rolled into my algorithm.
Yeah.
It's becoming apparent that Melbourne were crazy to not let Petty go for whatever picks they were
Was it
offered from Adelaide last
2
year.
first rounders?
I think it was something huge like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was outrageous. Harrison has played 10 games this year, most of them out of the goal scorer as a forward. Here are the list of players that have kicked more goals than him in the same or less amount of games. Here's a few. George Wardlaw, Finn McGuinness,
Jesus.
Elwyn Davey Jr.,
Wow.
Harvey Harrison, Ivan Soldo, Zach Toohey, David Swallow, James Harms, Ben Brown, and Eddie Ford.
Eddie Ford. I like Eddie Ford.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
And Melbourne,
You got to bank 2 first.
Melbourne have somehow, and I've just had the awakening when Freo dismantled them on the weekend. It's West Coast,
Yep.
and they're 2 years ago.
Yep.
Then it's Richmond,
Yep.
and they're up to their ears in absolute shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Melbourne,
It's coming.
You're next.
It's coming.
You are next. Your best player's gone, who's 33.
Yep.
You got Petrarca on a lengthy contract. You got Clary Oliver on a lengthy contract. You've got May on a lengthy contract. You got Lever on a lengthy contract, and you're getting pumped by 100.
And none of your young players are firmed A graders.
No,
None.
none.
Even I mentioned Cozzy Pickett to you this morning. He's not an A grader.
He's not.
On his day, he can be, but he's not often
I
enough.
was talking about
Three times a
I thought you
year.
were talking
Three
about
times a year.
projections. The Caleb Windsor probably projects as
No,
an A
Yeah,
grader,
but that's all.
Yeah, we like him. Yeah, but they need more of him.
Can they win the grand final this year? Can Melbourne win the grand final this year? They lost to West Coast here. They've got pumped by 100 by Freo.
At the moment, you say only Sydney can win the grand
Yeah,
final.
but can
How many
Melbourne
teams? How many
win?
teams are you giving me?
Oh, you can have a late end if you think a late
they're not
end.
in the first 6.
They
So
are.
if they, I
They're
don't
in
think
the
they are.
first 6?
No, they're not. If they can't win it this year, they're not going to be better next year. They need it. They're on a rebuild stage,
I
and they've
agree
missed
with
an
that.
opportunity to
The
kick
cliff
start
is
it.
coming.
Speaking about rebuilds and cliffs, Adelaide.
Okay. Zabe?
I've got Adelaide. Yes, sorry. So I was talking to a mate on the weekend who's an Adelaide supporter. Did you guys watch the Adelaide game?
No.
So
Which one was that? Who'd they play?
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Yes, I did.
So I went through it, and we're just talking about. So Rankin wasn't there, and I ended up having a couple of bucks on Hawthorne, just because I felt like they were a bit quicker, had a little bit more spunk in their team.
One of the form teams of the comp.
I did the same.
Now I went through it really quickly, and I'm going to name it. Do you think these players have any spunk about them?
Adelaide.
Okay. So Rankin wasn't there. Spunk players for Adelaide. People here are excited to watch play. Crouch.
No.
Hinge.
I like Hinge, but I'm not sure about the spunk.
Shoal.
No.
No. Laird.
No.
O'Brien.
No.
Murphy.
No.
Oh, he's got a bit of spunk.
Murphy.
No.
He's an honest battler.
Yeah,
that's not spunk.
That's not
That's not
spunk. Brody Smith.
No.
Jones.
Once upon a time, he had some spunk.
Yeah, Michael Annie.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
believe,
I
but
like
Michael Annie's
Michael
different
Annie.
category.
He's one of
Correct.
my boys.
But it goes Keys, Burgess, Nankervis. No. Dawson.
Keys does on his
Dawson.
Keys has a bit of spunk on his
Dawson.
face.
Spunk City.
And then it goes Berry, Fogarty, Schoenberg, Cook, Walker. They're not very spunky, are they?
No, not the most.
You're not turning on Adelaide games to go,
Can't wait to
I'm
watch.
going to get my teeth into a couple of these players.
Yeah.
It is a really, really dour team. And like Laird, I think.
But then they've got some who are at the top end of that. Like, they're spunkier than like the 80% of the competition.
Yeah,
That's it.
Dawson and Rankin.
Rankin and
That's it.
Dawson and
Don't say Rochelle. Is Rochelle?
No, on his day, Rochelle.
Is Rochelle-
No,
he's
not.
not.
What is Rochelle now?
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
want
a
to
very
know.
good
What is
question.
Rochelle?
That's a good
I
question.
don't know either. I feel
He
like
should be a mid forward.
I feel like
he
we're all
overhyped?
still excited about those first 5 games.
Is he overhyped
yes.
because he was doing a punch?
Timmy Cahill.
Dude, is that why we fell in love?
We
There
fell
was
in
the
love.
first 5 games he was unreal.
We fell in love because his first
first
5
season.
games he looked like
No,
the greatest find of all
correct.
time.
But then a little bit after that, he kicked a goal and bang,
Did the
bang, bang to the
punch.
crowd, and
Yeah.
bit like Dursman.
He's
with
good
the
looking,
arrow.
good looking fella.
We definitely haven't seen enough.
No, we expected an
They're pretty
evolution.
They need to go get the wildest throw at the stumps midfielder.
You two have been on Adelaide forever.
No,
I was never on it.
No, I still think
never
there's
saw
something
it.
there. There's
I'm
something
exiting.
there.
I think I did make the point that they're going to find it hard to cover Texas 70 goals last year. But
We're actually
Uh,
sweating in here.
Yeah,
I am
he's
sweating.
warm, mate. I might have to undo the top button.
You know what's happened? No, you know what's happened? This happens in offices everywhere. Someone's come in early this
Oh, so
morning.
it's
Someone's come in at like
cold.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
Jesus, cold, and crank the heat up. And they've just left it on all
Yeah,
day.
I know.
And they've gone home.
So Geelong.
It's 25. It says on the meter. Right there. Turn it down,
Can we
Zane.
turn
Do you know how
it?
to use these things? Yeah, just hit that button there. Yeah.
Is it locked?
It's locked in.
Okay, we're just going to
It's
sweat
locked.
it out here.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
It's gone up.
What have you done?
It's because you moved. It's 25 degrees in here. It feels like 40.
So welcome
What are we
down, Ollie Bradbury, Geelong.
Am I going to get a team at any point?
What a weekend to have you'd be in the Rising Star race and have the best game you've played so far. So he had 27 and 3.
Right.
And he's sort of one of the big cogs. I was at this game too. There's another one.
Did you go down the
Drove down
highway?
to Geelong. It was great. Yeah.
What were you doing in
He's watched
Geelong?
more footy
I had a
this
bunch
weekend
of
than he's watched the last 4 years combined.
Live footy. You didn't come close.
Did you go over for just a footy trip? Or?
No, I had a few meetings. I had a few meetings booked in, and then the National Pickleball League finals. I ducked in on one of our partners, so I ducked in to say good day.
Very hipster of him.
But it was good, mate. I liked the train. It was all smooth. Everything
caught
was
the
good.
train?
Caught the train down and back.
Jeez.
Geelong, great stadium. Love marching band.
You came and asked me about that the other week, didn't you? He said, "Oh,
the train. Yeah, how
do
do you get to
Geelong?" I said,
Geelong?
"Just get on the train, mate."
Yeah.
Like, he's all, "I don't have a car." I'm like,
It was like a $7 all-day ticket, mate. It was beautiful. Rhino gets a chauffeur normally.
He wouldn't get in a train.
Well,
When's the last time you got on public transport? Can you, honestly?
Nah, well, timing's everything.
No, when
last week.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, for the HBF run.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't count.
That
Fun
doesn't
run.
Shuttle
count.
bus.
Other than that, years.
Like a decade.
Oh, shit. I think I've been on the train once.
Ever.
Really?
Yeah, I got lost.
I would have picked that too.
Yeah, the
Melbourne grammar
city
type.
So I was
Yeah.
going to say, comes across as a man of the people.
Not a lot of Mikeys going around Melbourne grammar.
Not a
Tier one.
great deal of trams in Lake Tyers Beach either, growing
They don't
up.
even have a bus stop outside Melbourne Grammar.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not
a
worth it.
limousine rank.
No,
Yeah.
there's a tram
Where they just
stop.
pull up and out they
It's a
get
tram
up.
stop, but it's a
For
private tram.
For the Toorak tractors, in
Yeah,
they come.
stop. It doesn't stop anywhere else. It's
So-
just, it's
Anyway, Ollie
straight
Dempsey,
through.
do we go? Should we extend? Because we didn't actually talk about
Not
it.
really.
No,
No,
just
God,
Ollie
no.
Dempsey or Darcy Wilson at this point? Who do you take?
I think
Wilson.
I think
I
is,
probably
is this for Rising
Can
Star?
we
Yeah,
wait?
'cause
Because
it's
we
too
don't
close
have.
to go on.
I don't know who's got St
I think
Kilda, but I can't
McCurch is-
imagine
this
there's
is true.
much else.
Right.
to do.
McCurch is going to charge.
But is his foot okay?
After the bye, they said.
Is
It's
it?
after the bye.
I always forget about North Melbourne because I just forget about.
Well,
it.
Wardlaw's favourite.
Wardlaw's a favourite.
St Kilda.
That's not
That's me. Oh, well, let's go. We'll roll into it and then talk about Darcy Wilson. What do I actually? Oh, this is actually what I want to
Don't talk about the tackle. Because that's I got West Coast, and that's what
Yeah, that's fine.
clearly
We need
that's
something.
the obvious.
So there's 5 teams. Is it 5? 3 teams on 4 wins at the moment. St Kilda, Adelaide, Brisbane. I just want to show the disparity between like where these teams sit in people's thinking. So I went to Tab Touch and checked out the premiership odds for these 3 teams who all sit on the exact same record for the year.
Okay.
Brisbane, Adelaide, St Kilda. Brisbane, $34 for the flag.
Can we guess the other two?
Yeah, Adelaide.
So Brisbane's 34.
Brisbane, 34 for the flag.
Adelaide, I'll say like 50.
I'd say hundreds.
55 or something.
In the middle of those two,
70,
81.
81.
Okay,
yeah.
And St Kilda,
500.
yeah.
$301. Let's just show you. There's not like, and when the game breaker on the weekend was a tagger. Like they won the game by taking something away from the other side, not doing anything better.
Well, Mason Wood, in fairness, kicked 4
he
and
came
had
down the
20
end,
odd,
but like
Mason Wood popped up, yeah.
yeah, but Harley Reid was taking control of the game. They took him out, and then they were able to get back in.
No, you're right. No, he's right. Because
Like I said,
No,
you let him go.
Harley
then
was
Mason
destroying
wouldn't
the
matter.
Saints.
But even like, what was Jack Steele doing in the first quarter?
didn't touch footy.
0 disposals, 0 tackles,
Yeah.
0, and then ended up with 15 tackles.
Massive finish.
But, like,
15 tackles in 3
You
quarters.
got to anyway. They won the game, so it's hard to can them when they
Yeah,
came
but that's
to.
the thing. Like I feel like they won the game.
well, Melbourne,
because
who
more of
Ryan,
something they took away.
Well, Melbourne, who Ryan thinks can win the flag, still
Oh,
came
no,
over and got
I
punched in the
no, I
guts by
just
West Coast.
felt kind of sick
Yeah.
about it. I still don't want to rule them completely out.
Oh, rule them out. God,
I
they can't.
remember the year I picked them to finish last and they won the flag.
Yeah,
I think I've got PTSD
Yeah,
on
fair
Melbourne.
call, fair
Oh,
call.
no,
They
no,
can
no,
win
no.
any time.
There's a pulse.
It's not until the first week of finals start and they're out.
I need
You
to,
go,
and
no,
just
they're
in
done.
case they like suspend 4 teams
Yeah.
for some sort of
they become-
peptide scandal.
Yeah, everybody cheated the
and then
salary
Melbourne
cap.
gets
Harrison Petty kicks 10.
exactly.
I don't know. They're just. It's almost like the point we're done talking about them because they're not. They're a nothing team.
They are.
Hats off to Windhager though.
I thought I would. Yeah,
Big
hats
strong
off.
man.
Yeah, but I wanted him to be like a good midfielder, not a tagger.
Have we heard what's going on with King's knee?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No, they think it's okay. Yeah, he might even play this week.
Yeah.
So next up is North Melbourne. Oh, okay, that's me as well.
I must
I'm
have the
just
last 4
bulleting.
teams.
North
Yeah.
Melbourne on a bye.
This is going to be an
bullet.
8-minute monologue by you.
There's a bullet. North Melbourne
bullet.
on a bye.
On a bye.
No,
We've got
thank
so
you.
much to talk about.
I was
From
gonna-
North
I've got
Melbourne?
6
Yes.
topics just
Oh,
here.
give me something.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah,
0.
bullet.
Last time I tried.
Actually, just really quickly,
Last time I tried to fold them. So.
Can they beat? Can they beat? Yeah, don't you talk. They'll bash you.
Yeah.
Can they beat West Coast this week? Off a bye. This
no
is one of
Harley.
their very, very
This is
few
their only
chances.
chance, right?
No Harley.
They
Waterman
got
will
one.
come
They
back.
got
Kelly
Richmond
won't.
once.
This is the game that you'll be writing more than any game
This is the
year, is it?
ambush. This is the ambush.
Aren't they playing in Tassie later as well? I think.
Against
But they like
West Coast?
Yeah, they
I
were
think-
West Coast twice, Richmond once.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one of the 3, but I don't think they'll beat them.
Okay.
Okay.
West Coast at home are a good team.
Next up
okay.
is Sydney.
Finally. Okay. So
in.
Will Hayward signs for 5 years. That's great. Now, I think the first thing we think is, well, Sydney don't lose many players. And we're all thinking about Chad Warner and Willie Go.
Yeah.
So Sydney
You're the one that started that angle first. I know.
the angle.
I know that others have jumped on it
Thank
and
you.
made up their own stories, but I'll give you that. You started that rumour.
Everybody just wants to be the first, you know.
And I do think that there is a possibility. It's on the cards.
Oui.
But
it's moved from a possibility to on the cards.
Was that a slight upgrade?
I think that's a slight upgrade.
Oh, you can
10%.
have that. No, you can have the extra.
Okay.
5%.
5%. Okay, we're 5% ahead.
So we're at about 12.
okay.
12%. Okay, I like 12.
Well, I can work with 12.
So Will Hayward 5 years, and it made me think: do they ever lose anyone? So I went back.
Can we think of any off the top of our head really quickly?
Okay, I've got a list.
That Sydney have lost.
Rattle them
Yeah.
off.
Now
I made
Lewis Jetta.
Yes, I put that on the
Jetta.
list. Yep. I tried to stick to ones that they actually wanted to keep.
What about Tim Membry? Does he count?
No, because they didn't really.
No, Nankervis.
Darren Jolly.
He wasn't really
He
established.
wasn't getting in the
I've
team.
got Jolly on the list. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Dan Hanbury, they were kind of ready to
Yeah,
leave.
But that was still a big deal.
Yeah. Barry Hall basically
For the Dogs,
quit footy
yeah.
and then came
Yeah.
back and played for
Yeah.
the Dogs. Georgie Hewitt, but they had kind of
he
run
was-
their
he was
race with
fringe.
Hewitt. Anthony Rocker. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Pebbles.
This guy,
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Adam Huskus, remember him?
Yeah.
Went to Port Adelaide, a couple of good
Adam
years.
Huskus.
Nick Newman, but that was more like he was not that great for
Yeah.
us. Let's let him go. Okay, so here, Gary Rowan.
Jordan Dawson.
Gary Rowan.
Gary Rowan,
is-
oh, yeah.
Jordan Dawson.
Don't worry, we're getting him. Okay, so then I compiled the top 5 of players who they wanted to keep but left.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 5, Alir.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
All Australian ones.
Yep.
Number 4, now you could argue with my order. I got a bit excited about Anthony Rocker. Number 4, Tom Mitchell. All Australian and a Brownlow.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
they never really were all in on Titch.
No, they weren't. No.
But
He
they
did play
did.
in the
I
grand
looked
finals.
back and they did actually
Well,
make
they
him a 5-year contract offer. He just chose Hawthorne. Number 3, Shannon Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Grant.
Traded
But that
for
was
Wayne Schwartz.
Yeah, everyone
Win-win.
won that.
That's
yeah,
a
everyone
win-win.
won that.
Number 2, Anthony Rocker. You could argue that he should be 5th.
I can't remember he was in that. I only saw Vision the other day because he must be on the front bar or something.
You know, he was never All Australian, Anthony Rocker.
Yeah.
That surprised me. And number 1 is our man Jordan Dawson. But that's not exactly a murderer's row.
No.
When you
No.
consider how many players could have left and didn't.
Yeah.
So they don't lose many. Warner would go into number 2 if he did leave, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Behind Dawson, you might even have him 1. There you go. That's why I think that most of the
like
time
it.
the Swans
Well,
stay.
you can roll
That's
in-
why I'm at 12% and not a lot higher.
Yeah,
I
fair
do
enough.
like that, though.
Okay.
Well done.
That's the most research anyone's ever done
fantastic.
for this podcast.
Correct.
You're on West Coast.
See, I told you I was going to have a run. Okay. I know it's been done to death,
The tackle.
but the pivot off the tackle, which is should players still be eligible for the Rising Star?
Yeah, I think you-
and you could throw the Brownlow in. Now, my argument on this is, and I think, yes,
It's probably
they
a
should
games
be
limit, right?
eligible. They should be eligible. Just the penalty is the missing of the games.
Yes, but
So-
what if someone punches a guy in the head
Yep.
deliberately, does a Barry Hall, and
Yeah.
wins a Brownlow?
What, misses 8 weeks and wins the Brownlow?
Yeah.
Well, he's a genius.
So,
Yeah, I know. It could be, I was
the
just
best player
throwing out a
we've ever seen.
rare hypothetical here.
So
but maybe
then
there's like a
so
games
then
limit.
Do we need? So you say the two
Maybe two.
favourites. Who are the 2 favourites this year? for the Brownlow?
Dacos and Heaney.
So you're saying Heaney playing Collingwood,
Yeah.
Dex Dacos.
Dacos runs out there.
Dacos
gives
gets
someone
8
a
weeks.
DDT.
Heaney gets 8 weeks.
And still wins the Brownlow.
Dacos is also out 8 weeks because of the
Yeah.
injury, and Heaney wins the Brownlow. He
Yes.
shouldn't win it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what you could do in that space,
But
is,
also,
But it's going to happen.
Well,
those players aren't king hitting people. Those ones.
You never
I just
know.
think the penalty is for the Brownlow, for instance.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
say you get rubbed out for 3 games.
Okay.
Well, you don't get to poll for 3 games.
Correct.
Right? Now,
Yeah.
same for the Rising Star. You miss 3, that's got to be taken into account. There's already a penalty attached, plus a financial penalty that's already attached for not playing a certain number of games. Match payments for certain players. Harley, for instance, will lose 60K out
Big
of this.
roll on.
He's already lost enough.
As I was driving in about, what time? 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
A Brownlow medalist texted me
Yeah.
saying 100%, mate. All awards, if you're good enough to still win them,
Yeah.
once you've served your penalty, you should still win. Great
You
call.
said, no
Who's the-
worry. Yeah, good call,
Who's the
Job.
Brownlow medalist?
Job Watson.
Job. No. Sam Mitchell.
Is he going to be... Well, no. What is...
I'll be. He's local. There's no Nat Fife. He wouldn't have got a text from
No,
Fife.
Fifey doesn't text.
Who's he tied? That's a Brownlow medalist.
Blow the hooder if you could, Michelle. That's,
Brisbane.
I don't want to give too much away.
Lockie Neal, Paddy Cripps.
A lot of
Tom
WA.
Mitchell.
A lot of WA flavour in these ones.
Oh yeah, who is the West Aussie that's won a
No,
Brownlow?
no.
list?
He's saying it's not.
Oh.
Someone with West
No, I'm
Australia.
not saying anything. I'm just saying that was a
Well, it's not
text.
Joel Selwyn because
He didn't win Brownlow.
No, his favourite one year.
he didn't win it though, did
No.
Was he? It's Gary
Big
Ablett.
short favourite.
he?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Gary Ablett.
Gary Ablett.
Well
Gary
connected.
Ablett's texting Zabe.
Yeah, he was at the party on the weekend.
Swanee.
We played online poker with Gary Ablett during COVID.
Shane Woden.
No, during COVID, and I had to tell the mates that because Hawk was playing.
Yeah.
And he'd obviously invited Gaz. I had to text the boys, just so you know, that's Gary Ablett Jr. that keeps beating us. And Gaz, he won the night.
Oh, of course he did.
And you write in the chat, hey, Gaz, can we have your bank details, mate? Just slip you $50, $100, whatever it was. He's like, keep the cash, boys. I was like, no.
I got it. I've got it.
I was like, no, we need to pay. But
It's
anyway.
Paddy Dangerfield.
Incorrect.
Chris Judd.
Incorrect. Mate, just...
Adam Cooney.
That's
Cooney. It's
No.
Cooney. It's Cooney.
It's not.
Essendon.
Cuzzy?
No.
Did Ross Glendenning ever win one? Is it O'Connell's mate?
This is going to drive me mad.
We'll figure it
I
out.
need to know now.
Lockie Neal.
We know it's not Plugger. Okay, who's up?
Essendon.
That's me. Okay.
So this was the trade because Ryan wanted Essendon off the loss.
No, I didn't. I didn't
Said,
want
give it to me.
Essendon.
I'll come off
He
the
wanted
long run.
Melbourne, and I said, give me something back. And he said Essendon. I said, fine. And I wasn't unhappy about it. So Essendon, did you know their next 10 games are all in Melbourne?
Wow.
10 in a row.
all right.
Must be nice.
Must be very nice.
Tell you, and I think I dropped last week that someone mentioned to me that if Essendon don't make the finals with the draw they have, everyone should get fired.
Yeah.
This is...
Sorry, Matt Rose, you've been there for 8
No,
seconds.
not Matty Ray doesn't count. The
See
list
you, Rat.
management guys don't count.
We're
See you,
clearing
Rat,
them
you're
out.
out.
We're clearing
But
them
that
out.
is incredible.
See if Peel's
That
still
is...
going.
Can you imagine?
How many times have they been on the road so far?
They'll total 5, and they'll
that's
have
done.
one more at the end.
Right, okay.
Together.
Yeah, gotcha.
So 6 all up. So 17 games in
Jesus.
Victoria. They even play Geelong at the G instead of going to the Geelong.
Yeah, right.
That's how good it is.
This again this year. I look at their percentage, but nobody's got good percentage apart from Sydney.
So a couple of things. Nick Hind, good to have another little... Nick Hind does these patches for 4 or 5 weeks a season where you go, shit, Nick Hind.
Yeah.
and then
Good
he
step.
just disappears.
Mate, I wrote in a WhatsApp chat on Anzac Day. It was the sub, came on, slipped over, fumbled, slipped over, goal, Collingwood.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said, that's the last we'll see of Nick Hind. And he was dropped the next week.
Yep.
I was like, I'm bloody right there.
But he's back.
He's back
He's
and
back.
back in a different... He's back and back.
He's like a zombie, a
Yeah.
footy zombie. And every now and then he just comes to life. And for a month he terrorises teams and they go, fuck, we got beaten by Nick
Yeah.
Hind. Can you
Nick
beat that
Hind,
out, please,
yeah.
Michelle? It's like, it's true.
Yeah, no.
He's been one of their best in the last month. The Mackay twins, finally.
Play
It's
each
gonna
other.
happen.
9 years.
That's crazy.
I'll believe it when I see it. Billy Brown.
no,
is-
get
yesterday
there.
at a presser, they were right next to each other. One of them could have been a hologram. I understand.
Yeah,
that's
but
possible.
one of them could slip over in the next couple of
Yeah,
days.
that's I'll believe it when
Even
the
if
game
they're not the
starts.
same
but
person.
The whole theory that they're the same person, I mean, how do you do the presser?
No, there's
No,
ways.
but
They
even if-
tricked it up.
Even
hologram.
if they're not the same person, maybe they just don't. They
Facial-
love each other
people-
so much they don't want to play each other.
Oh, you think it's that?
Maybe they just avoid
You
it.
think
They've
it's
made a
more
pact
that?
to their mum.
I-
They'll never embarrass each other.
I did hear Harry talk about getting booed by North Melbourne when he was playing for Carlton. I'm like, man, you got the wrong brother. Ben's at Essendon.
love that.
Why am I getting booed?
Oh, no, I like that. By association.
Yeah,
if you shared a womb, you're getting booed.
You know the bloke. He's a dog.
Yeah. Same game, different team. Gold Coast.
Gold Coast. So this is my last team, and I'm going to go back towards Brownlow chat. So Noah Anderson, we've mentioned previously, had the average year last year.
got another 3.
Had a very average year last year and polled 22 votes in the Brownlow.
Well, he had an average start, and then he had a really good patch, and
Yeah.
then he came back to the pack.
Yeah, no, don't overcomplicate it with me.
Well, it's not an average. Well, it's not an average. It's slightly above.
He had an average year. Now, I've got to get back into where I was because I'm currently reading, funny, a bit of politics while I find it. The Mexican election just ran, and the first female female president ever in Mexico, she got up. Do you know how many candidates got assassinated during
How many?
this election period?
So how many candidates were there?
I don't know, but how many got assassinated?
I don't know.
38.
Jesus.
They
Is this-
nailed 38 of
Wait.
them along the way.
Are you kidding?
38 got assassinated. Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
just disappeared.
No, dead, brown bread. Found.
Talking about
don't-
Ollie
yeah.
Dempsey being the Bradbury.
Yeah,
Like, just literally survival.
38. Anyway, so Noah Anderson. These are some of the games. I'm just putting it. I'm just putting it on your radar. Come Brownlow night. He might be my one now that I actually have a couple of bucks on and I champion
Noah.
Okay.
Noah Anderson.
Top 5 finish for sure.
No one stands out at Gold Coast. No one.
No,
Well,
but
apart
we
from
did
him.
talk about the clearances there with Rao.
Yes.
Top 3.
Well, so he's got games already. Best on ground on the weekend.
Yeah.
He's got a 42 and 2 goals, a 33 and 2 goals.
We're pretty confident
a
he has 15
36
votes.
and a goal, a 33 and a goal, a 35 and a goal.
We think he's got 15
clearly
minimum.
on 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Which at the
clearly
halfway point is well and truly enough.
alive.
Yeah, there's no
Alive.
one.
Can we just have someone fact check the 38 dead Mexican politicians? Because I'm not sure. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just not your strong suit.
Does that
Mexican politics.
Everyone knows I'm the political
Unless
correspondent
it's
on
like
this
some
web.
secret
on this.
thing that we don't know about that you're that like
Here we
when
go,
he
another
was
one.
big on the Royals. Remember that?
That's
Yes.
right.
Mexican Canada assassination hits. 37 ahead of Sunday's vote.
I said 37.
That was the 38th.
Oh,
38 dead. Imagine going, I think I could change this country's fortunes.
Yeah,
Bang.
good luck.
Bang, goodbye.
My God.
so how many didn't get shot?
3.
One
no
and
idea,
three
but
vote.
38's a lot.
There's a lot of candidates too.
Rounding it
How
off
many
with
candidates do you need?
great-
38.
Probably, when they're all getting shot, you probably need a lot.
Yeah,
Probably,
well, you got to
yeah, need
replace
a-
them.
yeah.
He's a wide-
You'd be unlucky if your party at 8 get nailed.
And just quietly as well, apologies to all the family members
Yes,
of the Mexican
yeah,
politicians. If
anyone's
you're listening,
yeah, cheers.
feel your pain.
GWS,
oh, that's me. Jesus,
the
long
last
stretch at the
one
end.
on the list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for starters, do yourself a favour. I saw a clip this morning from the Dylan Buckley podcast.
Oh, I
Your
saw
son?
that too.
Yeah, Tom
That's
Green.
great. I'm surprised that story hasn't been out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, did you hear this, Nick?
He ran on for the buddy.
He ran
goal.
on, so he was
Yeah.
there for the Buddy 1000th in the crowd, and he decides, nah, screw it, I'm going out.
But also swapped ends, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
He
like
followed him around.
fortune that
no,
he was.
he planned it.
Yeah, back and forth to whatever end
and
he was shooting.
he got to within a couple of metres of Buddy, and then thought, oh, wait a minute,
They got vision of it.
What am I doing?
They got
Yeah, he
vision
was
of him
in there.
escaping from the huddle.
Then he's backed out. I think it's fantastic.
He is-
It also tells you how little people know about the Giants in Sydney because no one there seemed to notice that Tom Green
Yeah, it was on the
was
field.
3 metres away from Buddy.
But also,
It was chaos.
situation.
Yeah.
You don't
It was
expect bloody Tom Green to
I
be out there.
enjoyed. Did he go for Sydney?
He is not sure, but he's the best media talent in the
He's
competition.
great.
How good is he?
In the,
Yeah.
he's number one.
With the
Yeah.
podcast he does?
With him
Just
and Gaynor.
the way that they bounce back, he pops
like-
shit and laughs.
I
and-
like the so I listened to a different podcast with Jacob Gaynor, and he talks about growing up as a Sydney supporter. He said that's why the Derby week's so cutting because I know all of our all the Sydney fan insecurities. Like I know
yeah.
the pain points to hit to really get them.
Yeah. no, he's brilliant, Tom Green.
Sam Taylor, 7 years.
Yes.
Now,
Is he
I was
outside
gonna say,
the category?
As
Is he
somebody who hates
Yeah.
7-year contracts, Sam Taylor would be in your 5 favourite footballers.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
That's fine. Should have been 8.
So he's clear.
He's clear. He's clean.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. There's not many though.
no.
Harley, you've said yes.
Yeah, Harley, I would.
Harley,
but
Sam
also,
Taylor.
Dacos, I think you
I
gave
would.
the approval
but,
to.
Sam Taylor's position too also falls in his favour.
Okay.
A
So
lot less wear and tear at full back, and you're not really.
Yeah.
Can we add anyone else to the list of people you'd be okay?
Yeah, he said he's happy with Darcy and Jackson now.
What about Sam Darcy?
No.
You still haven't seen enough?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Big boy too. He's probably got a knee in there somewhere. You know. Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
But
All right, that's
It
Yeah,
might
he's
just
not-
be those 3.
It probably could only be.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the third?
Is that it?
Who was the third?
Um,
Taylor.
Sam Taylor.
Sam Taylor, Dacos,
Bud-
Harley.
Harley and
Dacos,
Dacos,
sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay,
can
so
you
this
give
is
me
the
order?
order.
Go.
So Port Adelaide,
Yeah.
Richmond,
Yeah.
Fremantle,
Yeah.
Hawthorne,
Yeah.
Carlton,
Yeah.
Western Bulldogs,
Yeah.
Collingwood,
Yeah.
Brisbane,
Yeah.
Melbourne,
Uh-huh.
Adelaide,
Yep.
Geelong, St Kilda, North Melbourne, Sydney, West Coast, Essendon, Gold Coast, Greater Western Sydney.
Have you got a clue?
Wait, and yeah, the clue is that Gold Coast and Greater Western Sydney really don't count
Okay, so
Okay.
it's something about from when they came in.
pre them arriving. So they sit outside. They're on the bottom because they weren't there.
Who are the last couple?
Essendon,
uh,
West Coast. Well, actually, here's another clue. Essendon don't really count in this season.
Oh, jeez. I've tapped out. I've done.
So it's Essendon and West Coast for the last 2, but Essendon.
So West Coast, Sydney, North Melbourne are the last 3.
Is it something to do with like
Well, Zave should know this because Zave would have
Is it
been
something
very
to do with-
invested in this happening at the time.
most finals
No,
won by no?
no.
I don't know.
Who's number 1?
The first on the list is Port Adelaide.
But are they last or are they first?
They're first.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Should I just tell you?
Yeah.
So that's the order of teams the Bombers beat on their unbeaten run through the mighty 2000 season. Regards, Kev's Kickers.
So
He's living in the past.
What was it? Let's go again once more. That was the order.
That was the year I graduated high school.
Yeah.
That's how old that is.
So it was Port Adelaide, Richmond, Fremantle, Hawthorne, Carlton, Dogs, Collingwood, Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Geelong, St Kilda, North Melbourne, Sydney, West Coast, and then Essendon.
And then they
Gold
lost
Coast.
Yeah,
to
but what
Bulldogs.
was the theme? They lost to the Dogs.
That's the list of
That was the list
the
in order
of the
of who
streak.
they beat.
Round 21, they got rolled, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
so
Grant
that would
went
have been
mad.
a double-up game.
Chris Grant. I remember. Do you know? Like, I can remember where I was watching that game. That's
Yeah.
how significant that moment was because
clear.
no one thought they were
I was
going
an
to lose the
Essendon
game all
man.
year.
Yeah, that's what I said. I remember that.
Is that it?
That's it. That's
Great.
us. There's been a
Well,
Hardball Gets
Nick
AFL
goes,
show.
you should know this, Dave.
Yeah.
How would I ever
I
get
said
that?
because you would have been
'Cause
very
you're an
invested at the
Essendon
time.
You're a nothing.
Yeah, I didn't say you should know this. A tattoo on your calf.
All right, wrap it up.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. Jump back again tomorrow for the mailbag. We'll see you then.